We've got the guy that tried to shut the engines down out of the cockpit.
A frightening flight on a plane out of Western Washington. That incident leading to dozens of charges against an off-duty pilot.
And we're starting to talk mountain snow and plummeting temperatures. All of this coming up in your First Alert weather forecast.
Plus, we've now learned the identities of the people killed in a Toppenish home.
This is Apple Valley News Now, Special Edition, on your side.
Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Alyssa Warner, and we are on early because of Monday Night Football ahead at 5. The Yakima County coroner has released the identities of 3 people fatally shot in Toppenish last week and of the shooter that police say took his own life. The coroner says based on the autopsies, all 3 victims died of gunshot wounds to the chest. Their names, 21-year-old Alicia Castro, 13-year-old Isaac C., and 18-year-old Alta Gracia Mancias Hernandez. The shooter has been identified as 19-year-old Raimundo Lopez. The coroner says he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Coroner's office offers our condolences to all friends and families of the deceased for this horrific, tragic event.
Now, so far, there have been no additional updates from the Toppenish Police Department regarding that homicide. Yakima County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a homicide in Wapato over the weekend that left a 74-year-old woman dead and her 80-year-old husband in jail. Deputies say they got a call Sunday afternoon about 2 grandparents arguing in the 2100 block of Ashu Road. They arrived to find 74-year-old Olivia Lawrence dead of a gunshot wound. After interviewing her 80-year-old husband and an adult grandchild, investigators determined that the husband discharged a firearm during an argument. He has now been booked into the Yakima County Jail on suspicion of first-degree manslaughter. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. And a Basin City man has been identified as the victim of a homicide in Franklin County. Authorities say 24-year-old Huber Perez Morales of Basin City died yesterday. His body was found in front of a home in the 200 block of Lowen Drive just before 7:30 in the morning. Authorities say his death is being investigated as a homicide. If you have any information that could help investigators, you can call Detective Sergeant Warren at the non-emergency number that's there on your screen, 509-628-0333. Now, the West Richland woman accused in the murder of her ex-husband has been extradited to Florida. Florida authorities came and got 36-year-old Shanna Gardner on Friday and took her back to Jacksonville Beach. She's charged with first-degree murder, solicitation to commit a capital felony, and conspiracy to commit murder. She's accused of killing 33-year-old Jared Bridegan, who was also the father of her 2 children. Her current husband and a former acquaintance are also charged in the case. Now, a judge has sentenced a Walla Walla State Penitentiary corrections officer on drug trafficking charges. 44-year-old Leticia Rodriguez pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute drugs, including meth, fentanyl, and cocaine. According to court documents and proceedings, Rodriguez worked as a courier for drugs and money moved between Eastern Washington, California, and Arizona for a drug trafficking ring disguised as a landscaping business. The judge sentenced Rodriguez to 5 years in prison plus 5 years federal supervision after her release from custody. Debris and items thrown at commercial vehicles now under investigation by the Washington State Patrol. Troopers say a large bolt and rocks struck the windshields of multiple commercial vehicles. That happened between 11:30 at night and 3 in the morning last Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday near Granger on State Routes 223 and 22. Those may be related to similar incidents in that area that happened over the last month, and troopers say those are also under investigation. Now, if you saw something, or again, if you have information that could help investigators, you should contact Detective Derek Jacobs. The number to do that, there on your screen, 509-249-6744, or you can email him at the address you see there on your screen. The Washington State Patrol is getting more than $2.3 million to help expand resources for DNA processing at its 5 crime labs across the state. Federal officials say the process to extract, analyze, and then input just one DNA sample into CODIS, which is the federal DNA database, can take up to a month. But the Department of Justice grant will help them cover lab tech positions, additional training, and infrastructure, like maintaining and replacing equipment, all to help improve that turnaround time.
So that victims get justice more quickly, so that offenders are held accountable for the wrongdoing that DNA often establishes that they committed, and to keep our community safe and strong.
WSP Crime Lab officials say their eventual goal is to create a bigger lab in the North Sound to bring all of their services together under one roof. Let's switch gears now and talk about the change in the forecast. Lots of sunshine last week, but I saw gray skies all around the Tri-Cities this morning. Stacey, you're telling us this is just the beginning of the changes we're seeing out there.
It is the beginning of changes. Let's start with this. You've noticed those breezy to gusty winds, very windy today. Kittitas Valley and down the Columbia River Gorge, Hermiston, all the way into the Dalles. That advisory will expire at 10 o'clock today. And again, let's take a look at those gusty winds right now. Again, Goldendale seeing gusts of 30 miles an hour, 31 miles an hour. Toppenish at 30, Ellensburg at 26. It's been breezy down into the Columbia Basin, but again, those winds will start to decrease. I'm not going to complain about these temperatures today, though. 68 degrees, and this is probably the last time we're going to see this temperature for several days. Okay, so get ready for cold weather. Our winds in the Tri-Cities at least are light at 7 miles an hour. Our sunset at 5:56. Let's take a look at our temperature trend again from the 50s at 9 down into the 40s overnight and then back up to the 50s tomorrow. So much cooler than we've been seeing. No more 70-degree temperatures. Very chilly tonight in the Yakima Valley, down in the 30s. Again, our daytime highs, and look at those showers coming, 55 in the afternoon. So here's what's coming up. Again, clear skies tonight. Most of those clouds have moved out. Those winds will start to decrease overnight. Winter arrives in the mountains. We're talking about our first big snowstorm coming to the Cascade Mountains. I'll tell you just how many inches we're expecting there, and get ready for a hard freeze in our lower elevations. All of that coming up in your first alert full weather forecast. Alyssa?
Thanks, Stacey. We've been sitting down with local school district superintendents as we continue to kick off the school year. We've been asking them what the most important things are to districts and what problems they're facing. Here's a look ahead at the superintendent sit down with Walla Walla Public Schools Superintendent Wade Smith.
Around ambitious learning for all students, around making sure our classrooms provide the relevant and rigorous educational experience for all kids, making sure we focus on our culture of equity and belonging. And last, but certainly not least, one of the strategic plan goals I'm so very excited about is a renewed partnership with both parents, family, and community in our school systems.
Now that story is coming up on Apple Valley News Now after the football game. You can find the extended story online at applevalleynewsnow.com. Today, WSU Tri-Cities officially unveiled the Bechtel Tutoring Center inside the Consolidated Information Center on campus. Now, the Tutoring Center will be named after Bechtel for 5 years, thanks to a $150,000 donation to the Tutoring Center and to WSU's Learning Assistance Program.
What we're doing is helping them sort of establish a center so they can actually have a place where students and the faculty can kind of come together and just give them a great studying place outside of studying in your dorm room or go into a professor's office. It gives them a space that they can open up and freely and then probably share with each other.
So we'll hear more about the Learning Assistance Program and how they're hoping it will give new students a boost in their education coming up on Apple Valley News Now later tonight. In business news, Redmond, Washington-based Microsoft has completed its $69 billion acquisition of video game company Activision Blizzard. That after antitrust officials in the United Kingdom approved the deal on Friday. There had been some concerns that Microsoft would be able to set cloud gaming prices with exclusive access to Activision's video games. The company agreed to let French company Ubisoft buy streaming rights to Activision games outside the EU. Now, despite the deal giving Microsoft exclusivity to games for Xbox and other platforms, the company reached a deal with Sony earlier this year to guarantee that Call of Duty will remain available on PlayStation for at least a decade. Now to a recall impacting Tesla. The company has recalled tens of thousands of 2021 through 2023 Model X sedans. The cars, they say, can fail to detect low brake fluid and won't display a warning light. Tesla released a free software update to address that issue, and the owners of impacted vehicles will get an email notification starting in early December. Two unusual incidents involving Alaska Airlines planes. First, an investigation launched after pilots reportedly tried a go-around maneuver at a Northwest airport. Also, an off-duty pilot facing dozens of charges now after a frightening incident on a flight out of Western Washington. Both those stories are coming up, and it is only October, but we are talking about mountain snow, the chances of it this week. Stacey Lee is tracking your first alert forecast next on Apple Valley News Now.
Shelter. Out here, it's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
If you want to lower stroke risk from AFib, not caused by a heart valve problem, there's a better treatment than warfarin. Eliquis. Eliquis reduces stroke risk and has less major bleeding.
Don't stop taking Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
The #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner. Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
A successful real estate transaction requires a team of professionals. At Windermere, our team consists of experienced realtors to guide you through the process. With Windermere on your side and confidence in your real estate journey.
Prosser Memorial Health orthopedic surgeon Dr. Jeffrey B. Higgs is now seeing patients at Prosser Orthopedic Center, providing sports medicine and orthopedic care. His services include arthroscopic surgery, sports injuries treatment, shoulder instability, rotator cuff and replacement surgery, knee reconstruction, and more. To schedule an appointment with Dr. Higgs, call Prosser Orthopedic Center at 509-786-5599 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Need to refresh a room in your home?
Yeah, have you seen this place?
Well, right now you can get a look you love and save big during the final days of the home makeover sale at Furniture Row. Shop today, because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. You'll also find huge savings on living, dining, bedroom, and mattresses. Plus, get 4 years no interest financing. I love it. But don't wait. The home makeover sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Shelter. Out here, it's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back. Making headlines tonight, an off-duty pilot allegedly tried shutting off the engine of an Alaska Airlines passenger flight. That happened on a flight that took off from Everett in western Washington. Now, the flight was diverted and landed safely in Portland, but authorities say the suspect is now charged with 83 counts of attempted murder. ABC's Melissa Adon has the details.
A frightening moment aboard an Alaska Airlines flight with 84 passengers and crew on board when authorities say an off-duty pilot tried to turn off the engine. Authorities arresting Joseph David Emerson, who they accuse of sitting in the flight deck jump seat, which is in the plane's cockpit, and unsuccessfully attempted to disrupt the operation of the engines.
We've got the guy that tried to shut the engines down out of the cockpit, and he doesn't sound like he's causing any issue in the back right now. I think he's the dude.
The plane was scheduled to fly from Everett, Washington to San Francisco, but diverted late Sunday to Portland following a credible security threat related to an authorized occupant in the flight deck jump seat. Alaska Airlines says the captain and first officer quickly responded and that the engine power was not lost.
The flight crew, the captain and the first officer, stopped him from doing that, got him tied up and taken out of the cockpit in one form or another, and then landed the airplane safely.
The off-duty pilot was booked on 167 charges, 83 counts of attempted murder in the first degree, 83 counts of recklessly endangering another person, and 1 count of endangering an aircraft in the first degree.
The T-handle, which is what this individual tried to pull on each engine, actually turns the engine off and prepares it for a fire extinguisher. But you can get them back on by pushing it in, but you've got to go through a relight procedure. The problem is, at high altitude, you can get the engines restarted. At low altitude, there could be a fatal result.
Officials now trying to determine a motive.
That was ABC's Melissa Adon reporting. Now, a federal official briefed on the probe tells ABC that Emerson was scheduled to be part of the flight crew on a 737 departing from San Francisco. A preliminary review of his work record shows a clean service history. A second incident involving an Alaska Airlines flight is now under FAA investigation. A week ago in Portland, investigators say pilots of an Alaska Airlines flight initiated a go-around because of high winds. They say the plane then appears to turn towards another plane as it was taking off. Air traffic controllers issued urgent instructions to the crew to turn away from the other plane. They both managed to continue to their flights safely to their destinations, but the FAA says it will determine the closest proximity between the aircraft as part of its investigation. The market for gluten-free products has been steadily growing over the years, and many are making the dietary switch upon a diagnosis of celiac disease or just trying to lose weight or make a health change. In Richland, a new business is opened to make it easier for those cutting gluten out of their diets. Jill Sperling joins us live in studio to talk about the new bakery and deli opened at the Uptown Shopping Center. Hi, Jill.
Thanks, Alyssa. Hi. After a decade of serving up baked goods at the Richland Farmers Market, the owners of Tina's Tasty Treats opened up their first brick-and-mortar business this weekend. Tina and Sean Pack tell me the opening went well, but they only plan to grow from here. The current order of business is restocking the store shelves before they reopen to customers Tuesday morning. Most of their items sold out over the weekend. Tina and Sean are well known for their desserts and sourdough bread, which sell out quickly at the farmers market. But they plan to grow their menu to prove gluten-free food can be full of flavor.
If you need gluten-free in this area, where do you go? If you want it to be, good and, at least semi, good for you. I mean, I get it. I sell desserts. So, but, we're expanding with this. I'm licensed as a full restaurant. So we'll eventually have, full meals, breakfast, lunch, and take-home dinner options and things like that.
Tina says she makes a lot of her items with fresh local produce and makes sure to bake items that take food allergies into account. Coming up on Apple Valley News Now after the game, we'll tell you what inspired the owners of Tina's Tasty Treats to start this business. Jill Sperling, Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And lots of big changes, but first let's enjoy the beautiful sunshine we're seeing today on our Legends Casino Skycam. And look at those trees. Oh yes, fall definitely in the air. 68 degrees. We're not going to be seeing that warm of a temperature for quite a while. Our winds are light right now in the Columbia Basin at 7 miles an hour. Not the case elsewhere. We've been seeing strong gusty winds. We do have a high wind advisory in the Kittitas Valley and here through the Columbia River Gorge, Hermiston to Pendleton, all the way into the Dalles. And again, we'll continue to see those strong gusty winds. This is at 5 o'clock tonight as we get to about 10. Still seeing those breezes picking up here in the Columbia Basin, Connell area. Starting to decrease though in the Kittitas Valley as we move through the night. The winds looking a lot better starting our day tomorrow. But those winds are going to pick back up again on Tuesday afternoon as we start to see a system moving through the area. It's going to bring some rain showers. And again, these strong gusty winds along the foothills of the Blues in the Columbia Basin and through the Yakima Valley. So let's take a look at our Wednesday afternoon. Again, those strong breezy to gusty winds down the Hanford Reach and the Yakima Valley. Slightly windy again through the Columbia River Gorge. Here's what's coming. It's a Pacific storm and we're going to see that moving in on Tuesday. Here's what it looks like kind of looking out at the whole Pacific Northwest. And the blue here, yep, that is snow. We're getting our first major snowstorm of the season from the northern Cascades all the way down into southern Oregon. And again, we're looking at the potential of several inches of snow through the area. And then that even spreads to the east into Montana, across Idaho, into Wyoming. So lots of snow on the way. Potentially in Snoqualmie Pass, and we're talking at the pass level, we could see 4 to 6 inches of accumulation through Wednesday. White Pass could see anywhere from 8 to 12 inches and another 4 to 6 inches along the east slopes of the Cascades. Even more accumulation in the northern portion of the state. But again, this mainly will impact our area. We could see a couple of inches here in the Blue Mountains as well. Let's take a look at our future cast and try to plan things out for you weather-wise. Here comes those clouds. Here's that system moving through Tuesday afternoon. And again, that's when you're going to see those winds pick up with those showers coming down the gorge. Note the blue here. This is where we're going to start to see that snowfall in the Cascades, rain showers for the rest of us, and even some snow potentially here outside of Walla Walla into the upper elevations of the Blue Mountains. A nice big swath of snow there across the Cascades. Rain showers in the lower elevations through the Columbia Basin and Walla Walla Tuesday night. So the storm will continue through the day overnight Wednesday, and then things will start to break apart there. But again, we'll continue to see some more mountain snow and scattered showers through the area. So the first big one of the season, I'm kind of excited about that. I'm not excited about this though. Our temperatures are going to drop drastically here over the next couple of days. Here we were in the 60s today. Look at this, our daytime highs in the 40s. Same thing in Yakima. Those temperatures drop way down in the 40s, and that means our overnight low temperatures are going to be even chillier. Tonight's lows again 30s and 40s through the region above the freezing level, but that's going to be changing over the next couple of days. Our daytime highs tomorrow, again, we are close to 70 today, dropping down to under 60 degrees for tomorrow all through the region. So a lot going on. Let's plan your day tomorrow, though. Again, get ready. Look at that out the door, 36 in Yakima. Temperatures on the cool side all day long. 42 degrees out the door in the Tri-Cities, 50s during the day, 49 in the evening with those showers as well. 40s out the door in Walla Walla. So very cold weather getting ready to come. We're going to call a first alert weather day beginning Wednesday through the weekend, and I'll get to all of that with your 7-day planning forecast. Stay with us. We'll be back with more Apple Valley News Now.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Even good drivers get hurt in accidents. If you've been injured in an accident, find out what your rights are. Call Alan Brecky Law Offices at 735-0546. Cases handled on a percentage basis. No charge for initial consultation. Call now. They're waiting to help you.
Get 2.9% APR for 36 months plus $1,500 purchase allowance on the 2024 XT5 and XT6 when you finance through Cadillac Financial.
Our state has changed a lot in the last 140 years. We know because MultiCare has been here, guided by a single purpose, making our communities healthier. That comes from making courageous decisions, partnering with local communities to grow programs and services, and expanding healthcare access to those who need it most. Together, we're building a healthier future. MultiCare.
Is your closet cramped and cluttered? Well, now there's Space Triangles, the clever new hanging device that fits over any hanger to save you closet space in seconds. And now may be your last chance to get them for a low price. Now you can vertically hang multiple items, guaranteeing that you'll have up to 70% more space in your closet. Your closet can go from messy to marvelous in no time with ease. The ingenious slip-over design secures the hangers vertically. It snugly fits all types of hangers to save you space. Order now to get an 18-piece set of Space Triangles for just $9.99. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get Space Triangles at this low price. There is a strict limit of 1 closet pack per order while supplies last. Once they're gone forever. Order now.
Call 1-800-587-3514. Call or visit spacetriangles.com. So call 1-800-587-3514 now.
Alan Brecky Law Offices is familiar with the everyday pain and worry of victims injured in accidents. They understand what you're going through and have the resources to protect what is rightfully yours.
A lump may be one of the most common potential signs of breast cancer, but there are other less visible signs when the disease is considered inflammatory. Signs of inflammatory breast cancer may include an orange peel texturing or dimpling of the skin, feeling of heaviness, tightening of the skin, breast engorgement, and redness or swelling.
Many physicians don't even think of it as breast cancer signs or symptoms, and patients will often get multiple rounds of antibiotics before they ever get to a breast biopsy.
Now, if you see those symptoms, see a doctor who's knowledgeable about inflammatory breast cancer right away. The American Cancer Society says inflammatory breast cancer does tend to happen in younger women under 40. It's also more common among overweight or obese women. The Washington State Hospital Association is suing the Department of Health, hoping to change the way the state regulates charity care. If you need medical treatment and you can't pay for it, you might qualify for a price cut or even free care. But hospital officials say the state is trying to expand that significantly.
What we're concerned about is this new reinterpretation of the law, which is that all types of charity care need to be provided to anyone who comes to Washington State from anywhere in the world. And we're worried that that is going to create access to care challenges for Washingtonians.
So coming up on Apple Valley News Now after Monday Night Football, we'll take a closer look at who qualifies for charity care in the state of Washington. We'll hear more about why hospital officials are concerned about the new interpretation of the law as well. You're watching Apple Valley News Now. We'll be right back.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome to the Village Bistro. We're happy you're here. I wanted to share with you some of the things we have on our menu. One of my favorite things is our lemon ricotta pancakes, topped with blueberries and powdered sugar and butter. And oh my, they are so delicious. You gotta try our 4-cheese mac and cheese or burgers. Some say they're the best in town. We love to get to know each customer that comes in, and we want you to feel like family when you're with us.
Thank you for getting groceries, Mika.
Of course. Happy to help. Will Medicare cover any of these bills?
I thought it would, but it doesn't.
We'll get through this. I will always be here for you.
I know. But what about you? I don't ever want you to be in this situation.
Don't worry, Dad. With WA Cares, I'm earning long-term care benefits with each paycheck. That money will be there when I need it.
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
Need to refresh a room in your home?
Yeah, have you seen this place?
Well, right now, you can get a look you love and save big during the final days of the home makeover sale at Furniture Row. Shop today because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. You'll also find huge savings on living, dining, bedroom, and mattresses. Plus, get 4 years no interest financing. I love it. But don't wait. The home makeover sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
The next generation of streaming is here. Introducing Spectrum One Stream with Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds, advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security on your devices, Spectrum Mobile with unlimited talk, text, and data, and now TV with the all-new Zumo Stream Box. Get Spectrum One Stream with Internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi, a free unlimited Spectrum mobile line, and the Zumo Stream Box, free when you add Spectrum TV. Call 833-976-4999. With Spectrum and Zumo, all your favorites are brought together in one place. Use the voice remote to search across live TV, on-demand movies and shows, and the most popular streaming apps to watch what you want faster and easier than ever. It's streaming simplified. Get Spectrum One Stream with Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, mobile, and now TV. Go to spectrum.com/stream, a Spectrum store, or call 833-976-4999.
Take off for a colorful flight over the Yakima Arboretum.
Some of the trees are going to really lean more towards yellow and some lean more towards red. When the sun hits it, the tree just looks like it's on fire.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Join me Thursday at Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar for our Golden Bachelor watch party. Awesome food and drinks, great giveaways, and Tri-City's own Faith Martin competing for the Golden Bachelor.
From Twig's Bistro and Martini Bar, Active for Life, and Apple Valley News Now.
Man, let's get right to it. All right, so we've got first alert weather days. Look at those cold temperatures, Alyssa. We drop into a hard freeze all in the lower elevations with several days well below the average. So I was warning you last week to winterize everything. It's coming, so do winterize everything.
And hopefully you got to that over the weekend.
Hopefully so.
Those are 20s. That's a wow. All right, my brain's going to get over this. We're going to watch Monday Night Football. San Francisco 49ers at the Minnesota Vikings. That's coming up next right here on Apple Valley News Now. We're back after the game, and you can find the latest anytime on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com.